My bad, man. My fucking my thing was all fucked up.
Nah, it's all good.
Like
This is why we have each other's freaking phone numbers, so you can let me know that your shit's fucking up.
Yeah,
fucking up.
I've been sitting here since like 10:55, and like the email that you have is like one of my work emails. But I gotta use Chrome. So like that email for whatever reason gives me a hard time. Like when I use Chrome,
send it to the other email then for here.
Yeah, on it was working fine. Just today it was just acting stupid.
Oh, okay, all right.
It finally sent it, but it took like 8-9 minutes to fucking forward the email to my other email. I'm like, what the fuck? I kept refreshing, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, my problem is, normally when I type emails, I will go ahead and I click compose and I type the person's name in, like the first 3 letters, like you is easy, Don, and then your email pops up and I just click it, That way I don't have to remember your email off the top of my head the whole day.
Just like no one knows anybody's
emails to have to remember.
Just like nobody knows anybody's phone numbers anymore.
Right. Oh my goodness, I got so much. This Pittsburgh game is going to be nasty.
I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
I did on my Patreon. I did a Patreon live stream yesterday, and I went over every game of the week, and I picked a major upset for this upcoming week. Not the Colts Steelers, but a much bigger one than that one. And I think the Bears is going to win this week.
Look at who they playing.
Who was it? Hold on. A good team.
Oh, the Browns.
Yeah. I think the Bears beat them. I think the one thing the Browns have problems with is good, like run first scrambling quarterbacks. That's why Lamar Jackson's so good against the Browns. And I mean, come on. And then, the Bears defense, ever since that those mid-season trades happened, that Bears defense has been pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, they have, like, those moves they made, man, that was like instant impact. Like, I gotta give. Did I ever tell you, like, I trained with Kevin Poles, with Ryan Poles? I mean,
oh, okay.
Like coming out for the draft, like we came out the same year. He was like rehabbing. I think he had like an Achilles tear. So we were down in Atlanta training together. That's where I first met him at. But he wasn't doing anything because he was just rehabbing. But he was cool, man. We used to play video games together every fucking day and all that. Now all of a sudden, he's a freaking GM. It's fucking nuts. I still can't get over that. I mean, I'm not hating. I just can't just think, like, he's so young. We're not even 40. He's 38 years old like me, like, and he's a GM of a fucking NFL football team making major decisions.
Good on him, right?
Yeah, man, I'm happy for him. I think he comes from a good family. He just, he was never like, he ain't going out, he ain't doing nothing. He just was. He was a kid. He was 22 years old, but he just wasn't a bad kid. Like he can handle position like that. That's why he rose so fast, because of his football IQ and the way he's able to conduct himself is pretty impressive. So I'm happy for him, man. Like, hats off to him. I think he's doing a great job. I mean, that's a tough gig to take.
It is.
Like that's like taking like the Raiders head coaching job or Browns head coaching job, or like just the shit of the NFL. Like you just to get like your foot in the door, and realistically, like it ain't gonna be no long term thing because like they're not gonna give you enough time to turn this thing around. So, but I think that they see. I think they needed some like young blood in there. I think they needed to see some change, and I think. Bears fans it's a rough city to fucking please those fans up there. And they're just so used to being fucking bad for so long that it's just like, it's that job is almost plutonium.
Yeah.
like it's either gonna it's really sink or it's
I
not
mean,
sink or swim.
and on top of that, it's such a microscope position, right? In general, in the NFL, GM's positions are under a microscope 24/7 about, if you draft well, but do you also, get guys during free agency? And if you do free agency, do you draft well? That kind of
Right.
stuff, and not just that, it's, are you getting the guys that are good for the team?
Mhm.
Just because you're going and getting a superstar doesn't mean they're going to be a superstar on your team, right? Because
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it has to all work. That's what we were talking about that
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago. Like GMs, they have to look at it from a different lens. Like you have to look at it from like how does this player fit? Just because he's a good player here, is he going to fit here with us? And is he really like, what I'm saying? Like, so like, and then like when it works, you look like a genius. When it doesn't work, you look like a fucking loser. And then there's, oh, fire him, you just get fired. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it's just like Chris Ballard. There's so many. It's polar opposites when it comes to how people feel about Chris Ballard. Because he's a good drafting GM, but he doesn't go out and get. A lot of people say he doesn't get impact players in free agency, and I'm like, yeah, he gets guys who fills holes, and he tries to build the team through the draft.
right.
So, I mean, I get where he's come. I'd rather build through the draft. I mean, you're getting young guys. You're putting
I'd rather not
around them instead of having to tear down a culture that they come from.
I'd rather not though.
Yeah. See, it's different.
I mean, because like you just really don't know what you're going to get from a guy coming to the league. Like some guys are men amongst boys in college, and some guys get to the league and they're fucking dog shit.
But let's say you're trying to build like you got a locker room going, and you have you're building a young group of people, and you bring someone in that's been with another team for 4+ years. They have a certain way that they go about things, and if that doesn't coincide with how you go about things or want your team to go about things, then that could rub the wrong way.
Man, at the end of the day, fuck all that. Like, you got to be a fucking professional. And you ain't going to be 9 times out of 10, you're not playing on one team your whole career. So listen, you get paid a shit ton of money. So if you are employed, if you leave one employer and go to another employer, and there's a different set of rules, a different fucking way that we do things, and we're paying you a shit ton of money, just fucking shut the fuck up and do it. You really only you got 10 years to do this shit, and you got the rest of your fun. I don't care about, I don't like it here. Like, just shut the fuck up and play, bro. Like, just go out there and play. Like, just go play. Guys fucking lose sense of reality as far as
yeah. I fully back you on what you're saying, but in reality, that's not always how it rolls, right?
No, that's not how it rolls at all, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it pisses me off because it's like, yo, any team I went to, like Detroit was dog shit. I wanted to leave, but I did my fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, New England was hard, but I embraced it and it worked. Like, the Colts, it was a completely different culture here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just conform to it, knowing that it's not the end of the world. Like, yeah, you got to get used to the new coaches, the way they coach and style. Like, and me and my line coach, when he was here, Joe, like, we butted heads a lot. We did. We butted heads a lot. But at the end of the day, I respected him as a man. I wasn't going to be disrespectful to him. He had to respect me as a man and understand that I came from a different culture. And it's going to take some time to, like, work it all out. But guys have to fucking just work it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be a man, work it out. And, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, I have zero sympathy for anybody who just wants to not do the right things because they don't like something for whatever reason that it might be. And I just hate that like that's an excuse, because guys get turned their fucking prima donnas. Like, listen, man, nobody cares that you make money. Nobody, at the end of the day, like, bro, like, you could be here today, gone today. Like, you got to stop thinking, these guys got to stop thinking they're better than anybody, because they're not. Like, they're not better than anybody. And the minute that and it's sad because, like, the only time they're gonna really realize that shit is when football's done, whatever sport they play is done, and no one gives a fuck about you no more. Like, you're a regular civilian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a regular person. You're off the high horse. No one's calling your name every Sunday or whatever night you play. And you just got to go about it. Now you're a real person. Now you got to ask for help. Now you got to work for somebody. Now you got to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, you don't like it? Guess what? There's the fucking door.
Right.
You better figure it out quick.
Yep. I know.
I just because I just been in the real world now for like 7 years. So it's like for me, I just like I've seen it. Like I get it. Like, and I'm thankful, I'm blessed and fortunate that I don't have to like work for some asshole boss or do a job I hate. Like I'm very thankful for that. But I really feel like guys really just forget what that is. Like they forget because really realistically, it's not they forget. They just don't know.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't know all the way up because, I mean, it's not like they had full-time jobs as a kid. They coming from childhood, they played, this game all the way up, so, this is all they know. So
I was talking to one guy last night about like certain players that are in the league. We were like, where the fuck is Todd Gurley at right now? I was like, man, he asked me, I was like, man, he ain't in the league. I don't know, man. He just like disappeared. And he asked me about this other dude who's like a 4th-round draft pick a few years ago. I was like, I never even heard of him before. And he was like, he's back in the row. He hasn't posted since 2022. I'm like, yeah, because guess why he hasn't posted anything? He's embarrassed. He's having an identity crisis. He doesn't know he's embarrassed if he's not in the league, yada, yada, yada. And guys don't even know how to, like be somebody else. Like, like Tyquan Underwood, for example, the guy that got cut right before the Super Bowl when I was playing for the Patriots. I don't know if you remember you hearing about that, but Bill Belichick cut him like hours before the game. And so, like, I think I told you that story. But anyway, like, he was out the league for like a couple of years. And he started working at fucking Chipotle. He swallowed his fucking pride just to fucking, have some extra pay his bills and shit. He's coaching now. He got a job and everything. But like, it was just like, what I'm saying? Like, some guys don't even do that because they just feel like they're just too good enough to do a job that a regular person would do. Because guess what? You're a regular person.
Right. Everybody is. I mean, it's
everybody is. You just happen to be good at a fucking sport, and we've monetized that to where if you are good at a sport, you can get paid more money than the average person can. But does that change your anatomy? Does that change? Do you have blood flowing out through your veins? Does that change? You have to take a shit every morning. Does that change that your breath stinks when you wake up? Does that change that you can fucking develop cancer? That doesn't change anything. So like, I fucking hate that guys act like because they wear one of these and they got to where everybody wants to go, that they're better than
they're up here when everybody else.
Yeah, man, fuck all that. That's a job that just pays you a lot of fucking money. But part of the problem is like, I was like, my son, we were watching TV, man. We were watching, and I always fucking keep it real with him to where he never idolizes another human being. I don't play that. And so like LeBron was coming off the court, and like, like the fans are reaching over trying to, and like he high five this lady, and she's like, oh my god, he just touched my hand. I'm like, who gives a fuck? And then another grown ass man, this black dude, he had to be like in his 50s. Same thing. And he was like a gawky little 12-year-old that like just met Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I told him, I was like, Deacon, look at that. So there's another grown ass man. I'm like, what the fuck does that do? Just hand turning to gold now because another man that he idolizes touched his hand? I'm like, man, get that shit out of here.
I'll be honest. When I first started doing this, I fanboyed a couple times. I mean, it is what it is. But once you start talking to people consistently, I think the thing that changed me around and made me realize that they're all just people. Just like me and my dad and, my best friend, whoever, they're all just, when I got to interview my favorite author, who's a 37-time New York Times bestselling author, right? And I got to sit down with him for like 3 hours and talk with him and interview him. And it was huge. This was before I started getting big into being able to talk to people in the NFL. And it made me realize everybody's just normal, And then once I got to that point and I was comfortable just talking to whoever, then it made things a lot easier on me. Now, I will still tell my son, look, you can look at someone and use them as a role model, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. You know,
Yeah.
having a role model and idolizing someone is two completely different things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And my dad was my role model, you know, growing up. And then, you know, I had some other ones that I had as well, but you know, growing up, I idolized, like, you know, Dwight Freeney, for instance. Yeah, I was a huge Dwight Freeney fan, over Peyton Manning, because I was a defensive guy, right? And loved Dwight Freeney. And I still wish I could interview him. I've never had a chance to.
He's a bit of an asshole, man.
Well, I mean,
I
did get to talk to Mathis last off season. Gerard Powers brought him on, I think it was.
Man, he's a weirdo now, man.
He's very opinionated as well.
Powers or Mathis?
Mathis, very, very opinionated.
He just got like that, man. He's into that religious cult shit that he's been doing with damn Ure, and they're just fucking. But they're off the reservation at this point.
But now I'm at the point where I'm just like, everybody's their own person. Just like no one's from Mars, right? I mean, we all bleed red.
That's why, like, I always apologize to you, like, when shit gets fucked up, because I don't want you to think that I'm just like some guys will do, like, no show, like, motherfucker, you see your phone, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? I don't want people to ever like think that, like, because I'm not that. I'm just. I
don't ever feel like you're trying to ghost me. All right, yeah. I got you.
No, but I'm always. It don't matter who it is. Like, I'm always just like, yo, I'm sorry, like. I really been doing like a million fucking things right now. Like, you know what I mean? But some guys won't. Like, some guys, like, for example, like, you know, I told you, like, I work for this sports agency and, like, we're always flying around. Like, we flew, like, this was a trip, like, maybe like a month and a half ago. We flew all the way to fucking Atlanta. We're going to have dinner with this kid. He goes to fucking Georgia State, but he's going to be like a 4th round pick and plays linebacker. And so we get all the way down there. And this dude was responding to us the whole time before the flight, like, yeah, okay, boom, this is the spot. We get there, he's not fucking answering his phone. He's not fucking responding. He's not fucking texting back nothing, right? And it's just like, yo, you can't operate in the real world like that. That's not how you conduct business. That's not how you treat people. That's not how, like, we spent our resources and fucking time from my children making sacrifices for somebody to pick them up from school, yada, 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 for you to just fucking not show up and never fucking apologize or anything. And like that, but that's the reality that they live in, because they don't know any different. They don't think about all that shit because they haven't lived life yet. You see what I'm saying? Like, but like, it also comes from your upbringing. Like, my parents would never allow me to operate like that. Like, they would be on my ass about that. Like, my mom would have slapped me in my fucking face. Like, I remember one time growing up, I was like, man, when I was riding in the car with my mom, and I was like, man, I was like, I'm gonna make it doing something. This is before I even ever put a helmet on. I was like, I'm gonna make it doing something. When I come back, I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna come back to the neighborhood, and I'm not even gonna look at my neighbors. Like, I'm just gonna be driving, and they're gonna be looking at me. I'm just gonna point to them like that. Just keep driving. And she was like, no, I don't. She was like, absolutely not. She's like, you never act like you're better than anybody. Who the fuck you think you are? She was like, She's like, I'm not going for that. You better never do that. And after that, I was just like, all right, well, that's out the window. But I always tell that story because, like, people like seem to forget that shit. That's why when I'm meeting with these guys, I just talk regular. Like, I'm not about to suck your dick for what? Like, you're a fucking dude that has fucked up problems. You just happen to be good in football, right? Like, let's not confuse the two or bring them together or forget about one and just idolize the other. Because at the end of the day, like, now that you got money, it's just fucking like magnifying the asshole person that you truly are. You need to figure that shit out, because guess what? Nobody gives a fuck whenever that game is over with. You're just gonna be another fucking guy that's out there fucking at Kroger and like, excuse me, I need to get that cereal right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, nobody cares no more. So stop acting like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think it has a lot to do with how people are raised. I mean, like,
man.
The huge difference between Gen X and Gen Z, right? I mean, huge. Or millennials.
Or millennials, yeah.
Between Gen X and millennials, it's
what
huge.
Is this? So this is Gen X right now, these kids?
No, I'm Gen X. Like, so people that were born mid-70s, late 70s, that's so, Gen X.
And so I'm a millennial. And what's this? What are these little assholes right now?
Huh?
Like, what are these assholes right now that are like coming out or playing in the league right now? Like what?
They're
Like what?
millennials.
No,
People that were born around 2000, around the turn of the millennium. You know,
because I'm a millennial. I'm 85.
well,
Yeah,
that's not millennial. That's
yeah, it is
85 is the
millennial.
backside of Gen X.
I
The
know, bro.
early
I'm
side
telling
of
you.
Gen Z.
I'm telling you. Hold on, we about to Google this shit. We gotta get it
Yeah.
right. I'm telling you, though, I'm a millennial. I know that for a fact.
I thought millennials were millennial age range. Oh, I guess so. Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. Between 27 and 42. See, I'm Generation X, which I guess I'm right before you. Okay, so
yes, 79, right? So 79 is the end of Gen X. So 80.
Okay.
So the Gen Z is 95 to 2009.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
Gen Z. That's the guys that are coming in right now.
Yeah, they're
All
fucking
I
retarded.
have that messed up too then. Yeah, those are the Gen Zs. Okay.
96
Yeah, I'm Gen X.
96
and
to
then this
2012.
group way different because this group that's coming in, their parents raised them completely different. They put them on that pedestal, you know.
But
they put them on that situation.
But these are y'all children though.
Yeah, your and my children coming out.
No, those are yours.
Well, I'm not saying your children, but your age range. Some of the people in your age range have kids.
The beginning of
pushing, yeah, at that point, right? I'm not saying you do.
You're right. Because both of my son is Gen Z. My daughter is Gen Alpha. Because my son is 2011, and Gen Z is 96, 2012, and then Gen Alpha is 13 to 25. But there's not going to be that much discrepancy between a Gen Z and a Gen Alpha kid if you're born right, like on the beginning of that. Like my daughter and my son are going to be the fucking same type of person just because of the close to the different generation time change or whatever.
Yeah.
But like nonetheless, so we're way off the cusp right now.
Oh, no kidding, right? How much time do you have?
I got to about 12:15. It's 11:30.
Hurry. What are you doing on Saturday?
Saturday, I'm going to the game actually.
You're going to be there?
Yeah, I'm actually going to the game. I usually go to the games, but I do that Colts tailgate shit. I usually get fucking hammered at the tailgate, and then I just go home. But my son asked to go to the game. He's like, we haven't been to a game this year. I was like, all right, man, whatever. So I'm taking him on Saturday. So 8 a.m. or not at 8 a.m. My daughter has a basketball game, and my mom's coming in town tomorrow to see the kids. So 8 a.m. We have a basketball game for my daughter, and then I have a 2:00 Zoom presentation, and then I'm going to the game after that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, why did you want to do like the live thing during the game?
Well, I mean, since you're going to be there, there's no point in me.
No.
I was just saying if you weren't doing any, because I knew it was a Saturday, it was a little bit different. But since you're going to the game, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go, man. This will be my second Colts game of the year.
Awesome. All right, let's get this one started up, man. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right.
Is Kenny Pickett starting though, right?
Injury report.
He's not up there.
Kenny Pickett is still Kenny Pickett will not be starting. He's still not practicing. So it's going to be Mitch Trubisky. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And but TJ Watt cleared concussion protocol. So he will be playing.
We'll just talk about it.
And Deontay Johnson hasn't practiced yet either. Because he's got a knee problem. So, and that's big, really, for our deep, because Deontay is that speedster that they have. All right, Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cassidy, one of your Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders, and you're watching the Believe in Colts podcast.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. With me, as usual, is my guy, Bam, Donald Thomas. And today we are going to go over this upcoming Saturday's game, 4:30, the Indianapolis Colts, the Pittsburgh Steelers, early playoff game, basically. Steelers currently sitting at the number 6 seed, the Indianapolis Colts sitting at the number 7 seed. One team is going to win and stay in the playoff race. Whoever loses this game, there's a good chance that they are done for the season after week 18. I mean, it is what it is, because this is an AFC champion. This is an AFC matchup. This counts towards the playoff seeding, right? Due to conference standings with all the ties and stuff that are currently in the AFC. What is your initial reaction right now, looking forward to this game between the Colts and the Steelers?
This couldn't be a more important, pivotal game of the season for both teams. And I think it makes this matchup that much more exciting to watch. I think everybody understands the severity of the situation. I know everybody understands the severity of the situation. This is going to be what team is going to show up and fight to the end. I think this is going to be a game that comes down to the wire. It's going to be a 4-quarter game where every team's going to have to play, and every play is just as important as the last one.
Yeah, 100% agree. Before we get into it, though, I got to remind everybody that BetOnline is still your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, NFL, NBA, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember, use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. So I want to jump into the injury report real quick. There is some major news that affects this game upcoming. Right now, you got guys on the Colts, obviously. Jonathan Taylor probably won't be playing. Braden Smith probably won't be playing. I'm not 100% sure if they've been ruled out already. Probably both of them probably already have. And that's big. With Braden Smith missing, that means that Freeland will be in there, and TJ Watt, a guy who has more sacks than games played this year, has passed concussion protocol, and he's going to be over that right tackle position, and Freeland has not done a good job in pass protection this year. And then, of course, Kenny Pickett will be out for the Steelers, which means it's Mitch Trubisky again, right? And that's going to be interesting. Deontay Johnson is also questionable in this game. With the knowledge that some of these guys going to be in, some of these guys going to be out, I understand that it is a next man up mentality, but there's a difference when it comes to quarterbacks and when it comes to guys of the caliber of players like TJ Watt, right?
Completely different stratosphere. Well, let's just talk about the TJ Watt matchup with Freeland right now, first and foremost. I think that is going to be crucial for Indy to get the ball out quick, because TJ Watt this whole season has been super upset with the refs, feeling like they're not giving him the proper calls, holding calls. He was very vocal about it the past couple of weeks. He shows his frustration, and he knows that there's the backup in. He knows that he thinks that he's going to abuse him. And so if the Colts can slide the protection his way, get the ball out, have some chips, have Zach Moss chip him out of the backfield, put a tight end on that side, slow him down, they can kind of neutralize him in the pass game, right, being so disruptive. Now, the run game is a different story. Like, Freeland's going to have to really just knuckle up and put his, strap his helmet up and play football, which I think he's capable of doing, right? Like, there's players who all you can do is just try to manage or minimize the damage they cause because they're just that of an elite player caliber. TJ Watt has proven that he is one of those guys, and so we just have to do a good job of neutralizing him, like slowing him down. It's like a Steph Curry kind of deal. Like, he's going to get his 30, right? But let's keep him at 30. Let's try to keep him at 27, right? That's a win for us because everyone else has to play well. And 9 out of 10, we're not going to get someone else who's going to drop 30, right? So it's the same type of mindset when it comes to like TJ Watt. Now, when it comes to Mitch Trubisky, you got to pressure him. I think we have enough to pressure. We've proven that we can pressure the quarterback. Mitch Trubisky's been known to make bad decisions with the football. And so that'll play in our favor. I definitely see at least one interception, if not two, in this game. The Colts will be able to pick off Trubisky at least once, if not twice. I'm just calling that just because of if you can get him rattled and get to the quarterback, it calls for a long day for him. So I think pressuring the quarterback, neutralizing TJ Watt because his hair is going to be on fire on Saturday, ready to go. I think those are going to be the two main focal points that we just talked about.
See, another thing when you're dealing with TJ Watt, obviously you want to. I mean, the Colts have dealt with his brother for years, right? But not this specific group. But as Colts fans, we understand what the name Watt does when it comes to affecting games. But you can't forget. Look, on the other side is Alex Highsmith. Now he's not TJ Watt, but the man's got 6 sacks on the season as well and can get pressure also. So I think that has a lot to do with why the Steelers are because just having one dominant pass rusher is great, but having two guys that can affect the game it's very difficult to handle, right? It's very, very hard to slide pressure to both ends because then you got the middle issue. So that's a big deal. Now the Steelers, they're really good at creating turnovers. They got 14 forced fumbles and 13 interceptions on the year. On the year, that's pretty good. And the Indianapolis Colts, even though, they have been kind of, streaky when it comes to turnovers. Some games they'll have 4 turnovers. Some games they may only have 1. But in a game against the Steelers, which, this defense, I feel like ball protection has got to be one of their most top priorities, especially for the quarterback, to make sure he has 2 hands on the ball at all times when he's still in the pocket with it. Yeah,
but see, it goes back to our previous show, right? Like when teams do things effectively, that they're practicing it. When they do something effective and then they stop doing it and they're not getting turnovers or what have you, they're not practicing it. So that there's a point of emphasis in Pittsburgh's practice, every practice, of creating turnovers, punching the ball out, stripping the ball out, right? Like they put an emphasis on that to the point where it can become mundane, but guys are doing it in their sleep. So it's just natural for guys that want to punch the ball, rip the ball out. And so that's creating turnovers. I think that's what indicative of their record too. They're not a 7-6 team just by lining up and not getting turnovers, like not creating, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to just come out and just beat you up. Like they're a team that's opportunistic, just like the Colts are on defense, right? Right. Very like get a turnover, create a turnover, what have you. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have been doing it better than a lot of teams in the league. And that's why they're a 7-6 football team right now. And they still have some playoff contention because of that. Right. So this is going to come down to, I really feel like whoever's defense creates the most turnovers, that like we always say, turnovers you win the turnover battle, you win the game. Well, damn it, it's true in this game for real. Because this isn't 2 super high powered offenses now. With Mitch Trubisky listen, Colts fans, come on, give me grace. Like this is not the starting quarterback that we initially thought was going to be in the season right now for us, right? We all can agree on that, right? So this is not Pittsburgh starting quarterback either. This is Mitch Trubisky, who's been around the block a little bit, right? That's proven that he's shown flashes, but then he's shown that this is why he's not starting and he's on the sideline holding a clipboard for the most part. So this is not where you're going to see 2 gunslingers happen to be on the field at the same time going against each other. This is going to be a game the defense is going to win the football game for them. And I don't see this being a super high scoring game, but it could be, but I don't see it being that. I see this being like a slugfest.
Talking about slugfest, Steelers have got one hell of a 1-2 punch at running back right now. Now we all know a little bit about Najee Harris, right? He's at He's at between the tackles, power runner, right? Got a guy who will bruise a team up. But what a lot of people don't realize is right now, this team is, oh my goodness, they have a backup, another running back who has split carries with him pretty well. They both have about the same yardage, but Jaylen Warren leads the NFL in yards per carry at 5.6 yards a carry. They have, I mean, that's just, it's scary when you realize you got Najee Harris and now Jaylen Warren is doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. Now, last week, the Colts did okay against the run, but, you know, the whole 7 weeks prior to that, not a good situation. You know, the Steelers are going to try to run the football with Mitch Trubisky back there at quarterback. How important is it not to allow big play opportunities on the ground game?
Those are the will breaking plays when a team can just run the ball down your throat, and then it doesn't matter who's back there, and they're getting 4 yards of carry falling forward. That breaks the team. That breaks the defense, right? So it's going to be key up front. And then you got Grover back, right? So like we got him. It's going to be key for them to be able to stop this run game. It just is. I mean, and you know what we're going to have to say, guys are going to have to tackle better. They got to tackle. They got to wrap up. They have got to do that because a lot of those yardage that he's getting, that 5.3, whatever he's averaging, he's breaking tackles. It's not like every run is clean for him. Like I went back and I watched like the last couple of games. Like he runs hard, and if you don't wrap up, if you don't hit him like through the thigh boards and tackle, he ain't going down. And Najee proved that he's a big physical running back. So you know what I'm saying? He's one of the bigger running backs in the league. So you have got to play physical in the run game, and you've got to be able to stop that and call and make them have to throw the football. The Colts have got to get ahead in this game early. You have got to get ahead in this game early to neutralize the running game and also to make Mitch Trubisky have to throw the football and make mistakes. So the Colts early in the game, get up. You got to get up at least, 10 points, 14-0, something like that. Make them now the run game is ineffective because right before the half, they feel like they got to get points on the board. Now they got to throw the ball, get a pick, right? Create a turnover, get a sack fumble, something like that. Go into halftime with some momentum, right? So now you've eliminated the run game, starting off in the third quarter at least, because they got to throw the ball just to get back in this thing. And then that works in the Colts' favor. Yeah,
looking at this game, once I started looking at this game on Monday, I realized this is going to be a game. It's going to be just basically a willpower game. Who wants it more? Who's going to go out there and put it on the line on the field, right? And is that, being a former player, is there is that actually brought up in locker rooms, during practice, during the week, or during a game where coaches or players are, just like the leadership is just talking to guys and saying, look, we're going to have to put it all out there. We're going to have to actually, this is different than some of the other games that we've played.
Yeah. That's what makes like coaches good. That's what makes leaders good, right? It's like when you just have those moments where like, you'll be sitting there in like an offensive meeting or a team meeting, and we'll be watching film. You'll be watching film, and coach will have this little clicker thing, and he'll be up there pointing at plays and looking back and telling like what we need to get done, whatever. And then and I'll say this, like Billy O did a good job of this when I was in New England. I know Coach Fitch for me to make references, but I'm just giving you a reference. And he would just turn around and he'd be like, look, guys, this game. We can talk about these X's and O's all day. This game comes down to who wants it more. Who wants it more? Like, who wants it more? Like, it just comes down to that. These are two good football teams. These are the plays that we feel are effective against them. But who wants it more? Because, damn it, they got some shit drawn. Excuse me. They got some stuff drawn up, too. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be coming at us. Like, who wants it more? And, if the Colts understand the severity of the situation, just who wants it more? Because I told you this before when I was my last year in Miami, when we all were 7-6, and it was us, Houston, Pittsburgh. Who wanted it more to get to the playoffs? Well, who wants it more? Like who's willing to lock in for these last few games of the season to make this playoff push? Who's not checked out and worried about going to Cancun or going to the DR or going to Vegas or Houston or Atlanta? You know, who wants it more, right? Like, as a collective whole, who's going to go out there and make this playoff push? Because if you win this game, we're sailing into the playoffs. If we lose, we already know, hey, look, book it. Book my flight. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it just comes down to, like remember, like, was it last year, 2 years ago, when the Colts went down to Jacksonville and lost that game? And, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Jacksonville had nothing to lose. And they're like, hey, listen, my trip's already booked. So I'm about to mess up your playoff chances, right? And so, like, you back that wounded animal into that corner that has 0 to lose. They don't care. Like, they played like they should have been playing all year. And the Colts took it lightly, right? And they went out there and got smacked by Jacksonville, who had no chance to make the playoffs, no nothing, right? And so, like, it just comes down to who wants this game more, period.
So I got a question. In my opinion, we got some guys that's coming back from injury. Most notably, rookie cornerback Julius Brents, a guy who has had a quad injury for like the last 2 months. Like, literally, he's been out for quite a while. 7th round pick has came in and played for him quite well. And I'm wondering, even though Juju played well,
yeah,
you know, while he was here, he's been out for a while. How much play time do you think Juju would get when he's cleared to play this game?
They'll mix him in. He's a 2nd round draft pick, right? If memory serves me correctly. I think he's a 2nd round pick. He's a high pick. He was a high pick for the Colts. He'll play, but, like, listen, if the young boy's playing well and he's proven that he earned that time on the field, I don't think you just don't pull a guy. You might have a couple packages in there where you put Juju in there, but, like, for the most part, like, I'm keeping him until proven otherwise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know the extent of his injury. His injury could have been, like, literally like a 2-month deal, like, to where he had to get back right, what have you. But, you know, some guys just need to understand, like, this is the NFL. Like, there's no favorites. There's no like, yo, who can win a football game for us and who can we put out there and trust who's going to go? Because, like, at me being a head coach or me being if I'm a GM and the head coach makes a decision, I'm like, why are you making that decision? Like, okay, like why are you taking? Because you can really mess up these young kids in their development by pulling them just like that. And then now don't try to put him back in because he might not be the same player because he's upset. His mental's messed up. Like, don't mess that up. Like, we have a chance to really make a playoff push. If he is not ready to go, or you have any shadow of a doubt that he's not going to be better than the product that we have on the field, he is to stand on the sideline until someone gets hurt. It just is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how the game should be played and how it should go, because I don't care if you're a 1st round pick. I don't care whatever pick you are. If you go down and the guy's playing better than you, and like, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, and this doesn't happen all the time, but that guy should be playing. Like, that guy should be staying in there until until he messes up. Then it's like, all right, pull him, put our starter back in, or the guy that we, you know what I'm saying, with the higher priority guy or whatever. But I just think in this instance where we've gelled a lot and we started playing better as a unit over these past few weeks, I wouldn't shake that up. I wouldn't mess up that chemistry these guys have just to have a guy who we drafted high on the field just because. Like, now, if he's a humongous upgrade, like he's like a Jalen Ramsey type guy, okay, I got no qualms with any move you make. And like that situation, like you see Jalen came back and he just had pick after pick after pick and making plays. That's different. But what Juju was he making play after play after play? No, he was a rookie. He was learning. He had flashes. He also had moments where you were like, yo, what's going on? So, like, if these guys are both, you know what I'm saying, like on the same playing field, literally, so to speak, as far as just like development, and of course, you got to argue Juju has more talent upside than a kid. If you were drafting this kid in the 2nd round, you drafting a kid in the 7th round. But there's some gems that come late in the late part of the draft that play a lot longer than those high picks. There's gems like that 4 to 7 range is where you find them at. So I don't think you make that decision so quick if he's ready to play, okay. But I feel like you keep the unit the way that it is, and if something gets shaken up, then you put him back in.
What is your number one key for the Indianapolis Colts to walk out of this Saturday with a win and stay in the playoff race?
Well, when the Colts keep a team under 20 points, they win the football game. It's been proven this whole season. So my key is going to be this: get up early so that the run game is null and void. But if not, you gotta tackle. You gotta be physical in the run game. If this is gonna be a drag out football game, like I feel that it will be, the run game for both sides of the ball is going to be crucial. And I think it's going to come down to the run game. I think the Colts, the last couple of weeks, you're going to have to run the football a lot better than they have. I think 58 yards total rushing last week as a whole team, as a whole offense, can't happen in this game. And also on the defense side of the ball is going to be neutralizing the two running backs they have, because damn it, they can run the ball effectively. And it just comes out of playing physical, man. I think Grover will be a huge upgrade in the middle, creating some pressure up the middle and being really stout. Excuse me. But I think it just comes down to both sides. Our run offense against their and the Colts' run defense have to be stellar in this game. There's a ton of points, man. Like, they're like, get after Mitch Trubisky. Even if you guys get up, get after, pressure him to create even more turnovers, or make him, have errant throws and all that kind of stuff. So, like, I don't know, man. If the Colts can do that, they can take care of business on that end, because these are two teams that, in my opinion, are evenly matched only because of the situations through injuries that have been presented to them, and how they have to be resilient to play and still be effective. So this is really anybody's game. It's a lot closer than a lot of people think, and I'm just saying that it's going to come down to the fourth quarter and whoever wants it.
My key to victory is for the Indianapolis Colts. In order for them to win this game, they have to play fundamentally sound football. They cannot turn the football over. They can't shoot themselves in the foot with bad penalties. They can't do dumb things to put themselves in the hole on offense or give the Steelers offense second chances, right? Mm-hmm. Because historically this year, the Steelers offense, game after game after game after game, find a way of shooting themselves in the foot. It's whether or not their defense can get them back in the game, generally, is whether or not the Steelers win. And for the most part, the Steelers defense are able to do that. So in my opinion, if the Colts can just play fundamentally sound football, they have a very good chance to walk out of this game with a win, right? That's my base. Now, all your points, absolutely 100%. I get that. Those are very important points. But I just feel like what we saw last week against the Bengals cannot happen against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No,
or we're going to get blown the hell out.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No, and the beauty of it is this: I don't see them making those same mistakes. Like, I feel like the Colts are a good enough team with a good enough coaching staff to correct those mistakes and have those guys ready, like, for this week, right? Yeah, short week, it's one day, whatever. But, have them ready to play come Saturday afternoon. It's just going to be very, very important that they don't create a bunch of new mistakes. They don't find new ways to lose the football game. Last week was a learning experience. Like I said, you don't forget about it. Now, we moved on from it, but you don't forget about it. We moved on. Like, this is a new week. This is new practice week. We're practicing today. This is our Friday practice today. We're getting ready for the game. Today's practice has to be crisp. There's got to be no mental errors. Everybody's got to really lock in and really know the game plan, because you are losing an extra day of learning, of research, of watching film. And it's a less physical week. So everything needs to be really crisp when it comes to, like, your assignment. So if guys can really understand that and be professionals and really go home and watch more film and just lock in for this playoff push, like, they'll be better off as a football team. Like, you just got to really know your opponent inside and out. Like, you got to know them. I watched so much film that if I saw my opponent on the street, by the way he walked, I knew it was him. because I would watch everything that they did. Everything they did, I would watch it all because that was my way of helping myself out. I wasn't the best guard, right? But I also knew like your tendencies. I knew what you're going to do. I knew when your hand was placed differently. I knew when you switched it, if you were angling in or you were angling out, down and distance, the different situations, like what you're going to do, how you're going to rush. Like all that stuff affects. So like if I was Freeland, I would watch the way TJ Watt rushes on first down, how he plays on the first play of the game, watch his intensity. Every single game this year, first play of the game, I will watch that. I will watch every third down. I will watch every blitz. Like I will have, because they break all that stuff down. I'll watch. Give me blitzes on first down. Give me blitzes on second. Give me everything when the safety walks down. What is he doing? When is he dropping coverage? That'll help too. So we don't have to be talking about TJ Watt having an impact on this game, right? Like we have to do those things.
Yep. Score predictions. Let's go with the game predictions right here. Mine's going to be a little bit weird. Something I've not said all season, but I'm gonna leave the floor to you for the initial.
I got two helpers today to help me with the score. They've been talking to me prior to us getting on, and they've been really just instrumental in helping me out today. So, all right. Okay. And they've been talking. You sure? All right. 21-17 Pittsburgh Steelers.
You got a close game, tight game, 4 points. All right. I got this as a 10-point or more game. And to be fair, it can be either way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one team is going to blow out the other, and it all depends upon whether or not 2 points are made. Turnovers and handling TJ Watt. If you can't handle TJ Watt, and you're going to probably get turnover, you're going to probably give the ball up. We're going to lose by 10 points. If we can handle him, we're able to play fundamental, keep the ball. I think we win by 10 points. So it all is predicated on handling TJ Watt. I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. Again, to me, it could go either way. But I got to root for my home team. I'm going to go ahead and go Colts 27-17.
Okay. I completely 100%, 1,000% disagree with you.
Okay. All right.
But she disagrees.
I am hoping and praying that Shane Steichen can be the guy that breaks this stupid Pittsburgh curse that the Colts have had for so long. All right.
I don't know what that is, man. It's incredible, but like hopefully he can, man. Like, he has the offensive mind to be able to do it. It's just, getting everybody on the same page, and hopefully everybody's just bought into to what they've been preaching over there, because that's really what it comes down to, man. Like, these are the games of why you made a hire. You made a hire because he has an ability to get guys to buy into the system and to buy into what he says. And not when you're just winning football games, when you're losing them or when you're in a tight spot. And this is the tight spots. We're going to see we already know what Mike Tomlin, how he's proven himself in the track record with how he can get guys to play and perform and all that kind of stuff. But we got to see what the Colts are going to do. And so we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. It just comes down to who wants it more.
Yep. This will be a bar meter to see how badly the Indianapolis Colts want to make the playoffs this year, right?
Yep.
On what the kind of product they put on the field this Saturday. I think that's going to do it for us on this episode of Believe in Colts, brought to you by Bet Online. For Donald Thomas and myself, don't forget, go Colts.
Colts, baby.
Do you believe?